The wife is getting her shoes polished. When her husband arrives, she smiles and replies calmly, "I got my shoes polished." As the girl finishes cleaning the shoes and hands them to the wife, the man looks at her closely, suddenly shocked, and says shockingly, "My daughter." "You?" The girl freezes, stands up in shock, and says, shocked, "Dad? I didn't expect to see you here." The wife looks confused and asks confused, "Honey, do you two know each other?" Just then, a delivery boy walks up and says casually to the girl, "Sis, how was business today? Did you earn well?" Then he looks at the man and freezes. "Dad?" Now the wife is even more confused. "Honey, why are they both calling you Dad? Who are they?" she asks confused. "I'm really not understanding this." The husband takes a deep breath and says seriously, "They're my children from my first marriage, my son and my daughter. I never thought I'd see them like this." He turns to them, concerned. "What's going on with you two?" he asks concerned. "Why are you polishing shoes and delivering food? Didn't you continue your studies?" The daughter says softly, "Dad, we got accepted. The admission letter is still in my brother's bag. We worked really hard for it." The son quickly interrupts and says nervously, "Don't tell him. It's not necessary right now." But the daughter takes out the admission letter and shows it to their father. She holds it with trembling hands. He looks at it in shock and says amazingly, "These are top universities? You've made me so proud." "Then why aren't you going? This is a huge achievement." Tears fill the daughter's eyes. "Dad, we don't have money. How could we study?" she says tearfully. "We had no other choice." The father's voice shakes as he says upset, "Didn't I send you money last month? I made sure to send enough." The son says hesitantly, "Mom had all the money. She spent it on Uncle's wedding. We never even got to see it. We felt helpless." The father goes quiet and asks hurt, "Doesn't she care about you? Not even a little?" The son lowers her head and says painfully, "She remarried and left us. She even changed her number. We have no food, no place to stay, so we started working. We had to survive somehow." The father's eyes fill with tears. "You should have called me," he says regretfully. "I would have come immediately." He asks seriously, "How much do you need for college? Tell me honestly." The daughter says softly, "We were scared. We didn't want to disturb your new life. We thought you'd be upset." "About 30 to 40,000 yuan, the daughter replies quietly. "That's all we need to start." Without hesitation, he takes out money and says decisively, "Here, pay your fees, and from now on, I'll send your monthly expenses too. You won't have to struggle anymore." The daughter hesitates and says nervously, "Dad, can we live with you? We don't have anywhere else to go." The father pauses for a moment and says uncertainly, "You can, but I need to think about a few things." Before he can finish, the wife steps forward and gently says firmly, "But what? Why are you hesitating? You don't have to decide this alone anymore. We're a family now. I'm part of this too." Everyone looks at her in surprise. The atmosphere becomes still. She continues and says thoughtfully, "I'm not against you giving them money, but will money solve everything? Think about it. Money can help you study, but can it give you a parent's love? That's what you truly need." The father falls silent. He realizes her point. Then she looks back at her husband and says seriously, "If you truly are their father, then give them not just support, but a home. They deserve that." Tears fill his eyes. He feels ashamed. She gently says warmly, "From today, they're my children too." Then she looks at the son and says encouragingly, "You both will study now, and we'll be with you. You won't be alone again." The father breaks down and says emotionally, "I'm truly lucky. I don't deserve this kindness." She smiles softly and says softly, "All right, enough talking. Let's take the kids home. They need rest." The children burst into tears and hug them tightly. For the first time, they feel safe. And from that day on, they didn't just find a home. They found a complete family. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more emotional stories like this.